I'm here in Los Angeles, California. This is the last day of the media days that I've been here for 3 days now, and at this point I've seen everything. So I can tell you what my impression is, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Of course, if this is your first time here, go ahead and click on the subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything moving forward. Now, I'm here at the Audi booth where yesterday at this spot where the e-tron is right now was the e-tron GT that they've unveiled, and I'm going to be one of the few people driving it tomorrow, and I'll definitely make a separate video for that, and that should be fine. The car looks amazing, the specs are great. As you know, I'm a reservation holder for one of these behind me, but there are quite a few other things that have been happening. I'd say the Audi e-tron GT was the second best thing that I thought was happening in the universe of electric cars. Obviously, there's tons of gas cars here. It is an auto show after all. But and you know, the Tesla booth is down there as well. Of course, number one has to go to Rivian. Rivian had not only surprised us with their, the fact that it's a pickup truck that they've unveiled, not the fact that they unveiled a second SUV. They surprised us with a ridiculous range and torque, and the fact that they were going in a stealth mode for 9 years, and really not a peep. I think everyone's stunned. Even people, even other journalists that I talked to that are covering, all cars, mentioned that Rivian was one of the biggest surprises for them as well. So it has to go to Rivian, and of course I will have quite a few other segments with them. I've met their team, they're amazing. I feel like this is exactly the type of people who can do it. Their CEO, I've had a on-camera conversation with them. A great guy and a drive, and it's just it's amazing. So that one goes to them as well. But there were quite a few other things that I should mention. That before that, of course, I want to mention that this show and this channel is sponsored by Evanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. There's a discount code in the description of this video. Go ahead and save yourselves a few bucks in the upcoming holiday season. Now, let me mention also Kia Soul EV. When I did a preview of that last week for you guys, I was a little disappointed because the rumors were that they weren't really going to upgrade their battery and range that much, and the production was going to be very, very limited. Now, unfortunately, the second part is still true. They are only going to be making it in a limited production and only selling it in ZEV states here in the United States. However, the first one, fortunately, was not. The battery pack is going to be same as Kia Niro EV, or e-Niro as they call it, I believe 64 kilowatt hour. That will allow them for over 200 miles of range. They upgraded the looks as well. I have a separate video on that. And I have separate videos for all of these cars that I'm mentioning. I'm just kind of found a quiet spot where I can do this video to summarize it with you for you guys. But I have videos in my library from the last few days that you can definitely check out. Now, there are quite a lot of companies here representing electric cars. So, Tesla is right to my left. Genovation is the company that I've reported on, I believe, at CES. They convert Corvettes into all-electric cars that can kick those Corvettes' butts if they go head-to-head, and I had a great conversation with them. Of course, Volkswagen had the ID.R, and I had a quick walk around. That was fun, and they have their ID Buzz cargo prototype, I believe, at this point. And of course, Hyundai Kona EV, just like Kia Niro EV, are here and making quite a splash because they're going into production very soon. And I think a lot of people who can't afford $100,000 Teslas are very excited about those. But again, you have to look out for the states and the places where you can actually buy. You probably know one of my viewers, EV Patty, already owns one because he is in Norway, one of the few places where you can get the Kona, and he did an amazing review. Also check out my library and you'll see that video, and I think it's a great walk around for that car. The Nissan Leaf made a kind of a splash in a kind of a bad way, I guess, because their CEO has been arrested on financial and tax evasion charges and quite a few other things. So they decided they're not going to announce or do the launch of their extended range Nissan Leaf, though the production plans are still on track. So the announcement is delayed, but the plans are there. It's going to be LG Chem batteries, over 200-mile range. People are reporting about 225-mile range. So even though they didn't, announce it, I'm still really excited about it. And once again, there's a video about it in my library from yesterday as well. So overall, I have to say, just the fact that there are more and more electric cars and they're making a bigger splash is already great indication. But just talking to the staff of this, you know, a lot of times, maybe in the last, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, you come up to a booth and they put that electric car in a corner and staff doesn't really know much about them, and they're like, yeah, but look at our gas cars, right? Now, more and more, they're putting their cars on center stage. For example, behind me, the e-tron is on the center stage, even though they have about, I don't know, 30 cars here in their booth. You know, e-tron is center stage. There's another e-tron also in the middle of their area. So they're no longer embarrassed by their cars. They're actually very proud that they're moving forward with their electric cars. Now, obviously, it's a really long way to go still, but nevertheless, I feel more excitement, not just from our community, obviously, and other green energy reporters, but also from the staff that are representing these brands, and I think that's very important. Bumped into a lot of other people that you've seen on my show, including, you know, Henry Fisker and Michael Persky, and there's an interview with him that's coming up. It's been a really exciting few days. If you guys are in Los Angeles for the rest of the week, definitely stop by because the actual show starts tomorrow. Other than that, I'm gonna fly home tomorrow after I test drive the e-tron GT, and I'll do quite a few other segments because I've gathered so much footage and interview footage for you guys. So, you know, you'll see quite a few other reports from me from the show, and all of this is exciting. I hope you're excited as I am. Let me know in the comment section what it is that you're looking forward to. What do you think this year has brought us as far as the surprises or maybe disappointments for this year? Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.